Box David for 10 says, Hola, Commodore. From your resident Puerto Rican Trump supporter, double garbage. Double garbage. I'm going to talk about that right now, actually, David. That's hilarious. I love that. Double garbage. By the way, I've been to Puerto Rico. It's freaking beautiful. And the water is amazing. I love Puerto Rico. I've been to Puerto Rico. It's beautiful. East Coast. I don't remember the town that I stayed in, but it was like the airport's like the Northeast. We traveled along the coast around the East Coast down to the South somewhere. Anyway, I'm sure you might know exactly what I'm talking about if you live in Puerto Rico. It's not the biggest island, but it's beautiful. Okay, let's talk about garbage. Let's talk about garbage. All right, I've been watching a lot of Kill Tony, and I blame Tyler Fisher for it because he did a Kill Tony episode with Jordan Peterson 4 months ago. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. I watched it and I laughed my ass off. I had never heard of Kill Tony. I've heard of Tony Hinchcliffe, but I've never seen his comedy before. But man, I have been binging. I probably have seen 50 episodes now of Kill Tony. I really enjoy it. It's funny. It's also endearing because there's a lot of times where Tony and his guests will actually try to help up-and-coming comedians. Because if you don't know what the show is, Kill Tony is Tony Hinchcliffe and Brian Redban, and they sit there and they bring on guests. Sometimes it's Joe Rogan, or there's just all sorts of comedians. Ryan Long's been on the show a few times. And what they do is he's got a bucket, and anyone can sign up for 60 seconds uninterrupted of comedy, where you come up and do stand-up and try to, make the world see you. And sometimes people are really good. Sometimes they're really bad. And it's very entertaining because, Tony will shred them apart. He's very good at roasting comedy. He was notorious for his... Who was he roasted? What was the roast? It was the roast of Tom Brady. Yeah, Tom Brady. He roasted Tom Brady. He roasted everyone. No one was safe. And he's very good at roasting comedy. Now, he spoke at Madison Square Garden over the weekend when Trump had his rally, which was absolutely epic this Sunday. And he made a joke. He said, I know there's a giant garbage patch out in the ocean, and I believe it's called Puerto Rico. And I'll be honest, it didn't hit. It didn't hit like it felt like people weren't there for a comedy show. You know what I mean? They were there for a rally, patriotism, Trump. They weren't there to get roasted by Tony Hinchcliffe. So I get it. I think it's funny. I think I get his humor because I've been watching his show a lot, right? I understand his I'm gonna attack everyone, no one's safe, and that's how it should be in comedy. Well, Tony Hinchcliffe just went through this 3 or 4 years ago. There was a comedian who deceptively edited, or not edited, just like took clips of Tony at a show after he went live ripping white people apart. It was this Asian dude. And then Tony came on and was like, okay, you're going to rip white people. I'm going to, and then he like shredded Asians apart. And this dude took that and like tried to cancel Tony. Tried to say like, he's a racist. I'm a victim, all this stuff. And like, it totally backfired because Tony Hinchcliffe was like, he didn't apologize. He was just, he got canceled. He lost lost contracts. He lost the stuff. He went through the ringer, right? The news kept trying to just drag him. He did a really good interview with Trigonometry, and they did a fantastic job. So if you want to check that interview out, check it out. Trigonometry is a great show. But he's done this before. He's been canceled and bounced back, and now he has one of the, if not the biggest podcast, comedy podcast for sure on the planet. Kill Tony. It's hilarious. Gets millions of views. They have 3 million subscribers on YouTube. It's a massive show. It's probably always sold out. I mean, they get the biggest comedians to come on. So here we are, and it turns out it turns out Puerto Rico actually has problems with their trash. I mean, there's articles that you could see about them dealing with their trash. And I said it earlier. I've been to Puerto Rico. It's beautiful there. I did notice that it was kind of dirty, but also living here in Sweden, I don't see trash anywhere. America's dirty too. There's so much trash all over the place. It's disgusting. I mean, I lived in New York for a long time too. Horrifying. I watched my neighbor just straight up clean her truck by just tossing trash on the ground. She cleaned out her truck by tossing all the trash on the ground. It was a lot of trash. It was like hoarding trash kind of vibe. So crazy amount of trash. But I know Americans are dirty too. But it was, it was a joke. He was ripping everyone apart, and that was the joke for the Puerto Rican crowd. And now the news is attacking Trump. And Trump, I guess Trump disavowed the joke or something. I don't know if that's true or not, but I did see this. King Deplorables just sent me this. Trump does a press conference from a garbage truck the day after Biden calls his supporters garbage. Right. So the media is being all upset, like, oh, Trump is, and his team is calling, Puerto Ricans trash. And sure enough, Biden, he goes, you know what? I'm gonna share. You guys need to hear it for yourself. If you haven't heard this, you got to hear it for yourself. I gotta share it. Hold on, let me find it. I just tweeted it out yesterday. Yeah, here it is. Okay, this is CNN, but it's worth it. You guys have, you got to hear it. Hold on, share screen. That one, boom. Okay. Actually, let's do it this way.
Or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people.
No one said they weren't, Biden.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Wait a minute. Let's hear that one more time, shall we?
Puerto Rico.
Let me turn this up.
Where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people.
I know Puerto Ricans, they're good, decent, hardworking people. Sure, of course. No one ever said otherwise, right? That no one said that.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
The only garbage I see out there is his supporters. I have never felt more seen in my life. The President of the United States sees me. He sees me, everyone. You too. It's just a beautiful thing. The left is freaking out because of Tony Hinchcliffe making a joke. And then we got the sitting president of the United States, illegitimate that may be, calling all of Trump supporters garbage. Oh, okay. Let's humor the left because they're saying there's no proof that Biden was actually referencing Trump here. Okay, Tony Hinchcliffe's supporters, garbage. That's also me. So, I mean, not it could be more than the population of Puerto Rico. Let's do this real quick, okay? Population Puerto Rico. You got to say it like that, or else it doesn't. The search doesn't actually find Puerto Rico. If you don't do it. 3,242,000. Okay, that's the population of Puerto Rico. Obviously, there's more Puerto Ricans that are living in America. That's fine. Doesn't matter. So let's go to his YouTube channel. Kill Tony. Let's just see. 1.9 million subscribers. Okay, so he's got 2/3 the amount of just subscribers, right? And let's see, the latest one with Tim Dillon. Oh no, this is the one I'm watching. Let's see, that got 1 million views. Oh, they just did Madison Square Garden. 3.7 million views. Just this one in Madison Square Garden, 3.7 million views. This thing got 3.7 million views, and that's bigger than the population of Puerto Rico. I mean, I'm just saying, I feel like let's just call it even, right? Same amount of supporters. So you're calling an equal amount of people garbage by saying, how dare you call them garbage? The left has absolutely no self-awareness, do they?